runs up to his car, sticks their hands in the car for 5 seconds, go out, go somewhere else, come back in, and then he pulls off. That's different. Absolutely. Because there are other factors.
That's profiling.
But if you stop him,
and it's okay.
It's okay because there are a lot of factors. It's
you know what? That would be okay whether he was black, white,
or whoever,
brown, purple.
Absolutely. But if he comes, let me say this to you. But if he comes through the Badlands and we pull him over prior to him stopping at any corner, anyone approaching his vehicle, anything else, that I have a problem.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
and with good cause. I don't blame you. That's the point.
Right. And we do not have to choose between pulling everyone who looks like Tariq aside, or
that's a good-looking person.
Everyone aside.
Someone who's that handsome obviously has nothing to lose, so he's not going to blow up an airplane.
Well,
but
exactly.
Putting that aside.
Exactly. But the point is, unless you have some intelligence on Tariq, or unless he has behaved in some manner, he's bought his ticket with cash, he's flying transatlantic one way.
Okay.
There is no reason to stop him.
We've covered this now.
Okay.
Let's talk about the regular folks who are being inconvenienced. And yes, it's for our own good.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's not for our own good.
It is for a sham.
It can be argued that
it is to make people think
that
the government is doing something. I would rather the government didn't add all of this inconvenience and instead did what I think they are actually doing at the same time, take a closer look at their intelligence structure. That, as I said, you stop terrorists before they get to the airport.
And as you said to start the show, instead of looking for a bomb, we should be looking for the bombers. And all of what you're saying leads to that.
Here's the problem with this in its application. And I go back to Hassan, the guy who shot up Fort Hood for a very specific reason. He gave the ground rounds, all right? He's a medical doctor who, in effect, gave the big talk to other doctors. And what he had to say was deeply alarming to other doctors. What he had been saying to other people in the military was alarming. The question is, why didn't the military intervene? Because they were afraid of a lawsuit. That's exactly it. What we have done is we've litigated ourselves into a position.
The lawyers get blamed.
No, you have to explain the big moan and groan, because not less than 5 minutes ago, you said you would sue if someone kept pulling you out of line.
You know why?
So
because I didn't
give a
big talk. Because I didn't give a big talk that drew red flags. I didn't talk to someone that other lawyers or other doctors felt uncomfortable with. I didn't have anything. I traveled with bags. Those bags were x-rayed. I had a proper passport. They have an opportunity to check my background, which they probably did. So when you talk about all of those particular type of factors, and then when you involve yourself in that, I'm inconvenienced improperly. However, when in fact someone like that individual who clearly had a problem and an agenda speaks on behalf of whatever he spoke on behalf of, before doctors, saying things that are disturbing, people that are bothered by it, then that's an individual that you have, I would submit, reasonable suspicion.
You know what? The government can watch all of us, but they can't watch the guys on the watch list. I mean, you know, I have to go to the airport 3 hours early. You know, I can only carry a tiny little makeup bag. We can't even take lotion now. You can't take sunblock on a vacation unless it's in 4 ounces or less in your carry-on bag. But this guy can get on a plane with the explosives taped to him. See, I don't get that.
Well, but because the system was supposed, there was a breakdown in the system. That's, I think, the whole point. That's how we got here. There was a breakdown in the system. The guy should not have been able to get on the airplane. He had secreted
in Denmark.
In Denmark.
It wasn't in the United States. It was in Denmark.
Correct. So, I mean, the fact is that, you know, he was able to get on the airplane. And as far as this thing about the lawsuits, I mean, I used to learn this from the DEA ages when I was a prosecutor. It's better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6. Bring on the lawsuits. I don't care. I'd rather defend the lawsuit, worry about insulting the guy later, not worrying about going to funerals for 13 people.
But you don't have a lawsuit when, in fact, you have other factors.
Well,
you have a lawsuit when you stop me. Let me say that a couple of times. You're going to have a lawsuit when you stop me. But with respect to that, to those factors that exist, even when we talk about the individual Hassan, those factors that exist, any right-thinking person, Muslim or non-Muslim, would say, we need to talk to him about some things.
See, I think everyone's agreed. We've all agreed that this guy or the others that have the various characteristics that you've pointed out, they should be watched.
Right.
My question before we're done this show, which is in just minutes here, is, you know, what about the rest of us? Why do we have to be inconvenienced? Or is that just going to be a fact of life now?
It's not. There is no good reason for it. It's not accomplishing anything except to make you think that there's a higher level of attention going on. Now, there may be, in fact, a higher level of attention being paid. That's terrific. But it has nothing to do with whether or not you're taking off your shoes once, whether you're being patted down, etc.
Right. You're being inconvenienced because it's in essence a knee-jerk reaction. And quite frankly, I mean, after 9/11, prior to 9/11, the theory was in a hijacking, give the airplane to the terrorist, give the airplane to the hijacker, okay? Because he's going to fly it to Cuba, he's going to go wherever he is with it. No one ever thought about flying him into a building. Those days are over. The door's bolted. That threat is gone and forgotten. We have a new threat now, so we need to take the steps to address that. But unfortunately, a lot of what you go through, up until, quite frankly, a year ago, was as far as I was concerned, worthless, because it really didn't enhance your safety because you weren't at risk in the airlines.
All right, on that note, we are going to have to say that's the end of this discussion and debate for this half hour. I'm sure it will continue there. I know it will continue here. Mary Catherine Roper, good to have you with us. Thank you very much. And Tyreek El-Shabazz, good to have you here. Ed Trzanski and Fred TC, longtime friends of the show. Always appreciate your input. Most importantly, though, we're glad that you could join us. If you want to tell us what you think about this or any topic, you can email me right here at the show at tcn_IYC@thecomcastnetwork.com, or you can find me at lyndoyle.net. See you next time. Have a good one.